So, the Overwatch beta began, and I've finally had the honor, nay, the privilege, of playing the game for myself. After seeing so many people getting so excited about the game and hearing time and time again that Overwatch is gonna be the death of TF2, I can honestly say that's a whole hunk of horse shit. Overwatch is not replacing Team Fortress 2, not by a long shot. Now that's not to say it's not a fun game. I was playing with some of my friends and I actually ended up having a great time. Well, I would have had more of a great time if my game didn't look like shit! Seriously, this is the same computer that can run Minesweeper at max graphical quality. Meanwhile, a game like Overwatch is suddenly too much? May I remind you all that this is indeed epic settings. Everyone else's game looks like the Pillsbury Doughboy at a Thai massage parlor, and you're telling me I'm getting this prickly line shit? It's like they got hit by a car. I've seen burn victims with better fidelity. What the f? As you can imagine, Mercy was my first choice, and quite frankly, I was very impressed with the medic class. You can zoom to your teammates, heal/damage buff people, and if you're in the mood to deal some punishment, never fear, for you're equipped with the most pathetic excuse for a weapon I have ever seen a medic have. Some medics have shotguns, some syringe guns, Mercy has a fucking Nerf gun, and at least the medic has the crossbow, something that can do a significant amount of damage if aimed right. Hell, the syringe guns can hold their own. Not Mercy, hell no. That pathetic little pistol has the stopping power of saran wrap and is just as effective at keeping your leftovers fresh. And technically, they have a melee attack in the game, but remember how in TF2 the melee damage does a whopping 65 points of damage, taking out close to half of most classes' health? Well, hold on your craft hats, because melee in this game does the same amount of damage as a fucking circus balloon sword. I remember Scottjaw telling me they nerfed it from something like 50, but they couldn't have given the medic a knife on the end of that metagun ripoff, or maybe at least some rusty nails, or hell, I'd be okay with a sharp rock, just anything, really. So Mercy also has the equivalent of Uber Charge that revives fallen teammates, which quite honestly feels a little underwhelming. Unless you're reviving 3 teammates at once, it's actually kind of weak. Of course, I find it slightly poetic that the first skin I get happens to be for Mercy. Overall though, the medic class in Overwatch has the potential to be pretty strong considering the advantages it has, though it kinda lacks the sheer game-changing power that our true favorite German gave us. Unfortunately, that's where me being impressed and just kind of stops. Maybe it's just me, maybe it's just what I'm used to, but Overwatch is just simply a mess. And I'd like to contribute that to the obscene number of classes. You've got a wide and diverse set of characters including such classics as Weedbait, Clint Eastwood, Truck Nuts, MC Hammer, Discount Store Demo Man, Pyramid Scheme, White G.I. Joe Ninja, XX420 No Scope MLG Killer XX, Speedo Guy, Ballsy Gandhi, WM1, Rice Rocket, Ron Jeremy, 13-year-old, Wally, VCR, Mutant Trump Supporter, Porn Star, Gimli's Cousin Kyle, Samus, and of course, Mercy, which as you can imagine, along with Ballsy Gandhi, is the only class I actually respect in this game. With all the classes, it's a chaotic nightmare. Everyone's off doing their own thing with so many people and playstyles, it's a clash of gameplay the likes of which you have never seen. And when I say clash of gameplay, I mean it. It's a blend of Call of Battle Honor, Tower Defense, Surgeon Simulator, Mirror's Edge, Assassin's Creed Armored Core, and a ridiculous amount of different games. Weirdly enough, however, there's very little TF2 involved, which is why I'm pretty rock sure about it not replacing Team Fortress. Now, there's 3 things Overwatch loves: projectiles, choke points, and spam. I don't know what they have against hitscan, but to me there seems to be only a handful of weapons that are just plain bullets, which unfortunately does not bode well for your average high latency player, and even so, there's no alternative you can use like a shotgun or pistol or something. If you can't hit with projectiles, you might as well just hang your hat up right now. Game over, no refunds. And it's not being able to hit projectiles that leads to the worst sin of them all, spam. When people can't aim with their weapons, you know what they do? I'll give you a hint. Look, I'll give you a hint. Check this out. I'll give you a hint. Yeah, exactly that. And since most of the game is projectiles, it doubles that. Coupled with the close quarters and the splash damage, you're just in for a who can press mouse 1 faster contest. Yeah, remember why Payload Hoodoo is such a boring map? That's exactly why. Playing on these maps is like threading a needle with a fucking sausage. My biggest issue with Overwatch is how limiting it feels to me. Maybe it's just the classes, maybe it's the engine Blizzard built, or maybe I've just been brainwashed by Valve, but the game feels like it's constantly fighting itself. Like it only allows the player to do exactly what the developers wanted you to do. In other words, I doubt that something like trimping or sentry jumping would ever be a thing in Overwatch, just for this exact reason. I feel like the game is more focused on how fast I can push buttons rather than how well I can use the game to my advantage, and frankly that does not appeal much to me. In the end, I feel like TF2 and Overwatch are two different games, and saying that Overwatch is the TF2 killer is pretty ignorant. Let's face it, there were a lot of things that were supposedly going to take over Team Fortress, and it's still going. Because at the end of the day, TF2 is the game everyone comes back to. They may play different games, but most people who play for a significant amount of time eventually find their way back. TF2 is weathered, and there's no doubt it's in the market for some serious changes, but by supporting the game, we can turn it into something Overwatch could only ever dream of being. Well, ladies and gentlemen, my name is, and most likely will always be, ArraySeven, and this has been my take on Overwatch and its kind of absurd likelihood to take over TF2. I wish you all the happiest of days and the most delicious of spam sandwiches. I'd also like to give a large shout out to Lobster Charlie for this incredibly made bone saw she sent me. Thank you so much, Lobster, you're incredible.
I'm the invincible, undefeated champion. Mount Zion's my ancestors, Camp of Lions. Star of David, nah, the thought of stardom. Martyrdom and done, crumbs left to the dumb thumb. To this play button, glutton of words. Mutton, birds of fly to fly to you, dropping turds. Hopping up on ignorance to feel how your body pop up the real. Dance the visual, cry to deity. Pious piety might it be to see is truly to be me. I see everything there is.